Gotta stay fresh, my. I don't shop with a rest spot. Shop with a rest spot. Shop with a rest spot.
Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
The bounce is back. You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Shoulder sideways, smack it in the air. Legs move it side to side, smack it in the air. Legs move it side to side, smack it in the air. Shoulder sideways, smack it in the air. Smack it in the air. Legs move it side to side, smack it in the air. Smack it in the air. Way your hands, I choose, I put it in the air.
7-Eleven. Hey, everybody. You are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and some good old interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, with you Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. on your drive home. I know it's a lot of traffic out there, y'all. I know. I get it. It's a lot of traffic, but hopefully you are making your way in. You might already be at home, and if you are, kick your feet up. You know what I'm saying? Get with this Raw Report energy right here. I hope you guys are having a lovely, what is it, Tuesday? I'm off. Now I'll tell you, yeah, it's Tuesday. Thank you. 7-Eleven. Andy came through with the 7-Eleven song. That's Andy all day. That's right. You know what? You get your free Slurpee at 7-Eleven. They do it annually, and it's hot enough to get. It's burning up out there, y'all. I don't know if I mentioned this. In the Valley, every day, now this is every day, in the Valley, it's always, well, during the summertime months, it's like 100 degrees, like at the baseline. I mean, it's probably 90 something, but 100 degrees. And when you get over the hill, it's 20 to 30 degrees less. What, Andy?
No, I was just going to say, I got relatives that stay in the Valley or whatnot. And I remember as a kid going to the Valley, and every time during the summer, I would, link up with them, and I'd be like drenched, right? Yeah. So, you get older, you start going to school or whatnot. You look at biology, the Valley, right?
Yeah.
Basically the land is below sea level.
Yeah.
So, it traps all the heat. And when it's cold, I'm assuming it's freezing.
Yeah.
Boom.
Come on, facts. Come on, knowledge. Yes, exactly right. It's the same way in a household. It's usually very, very hot downstairs. And once it's hotter upstairs, and then it's way cooler downstairs. But anyway, I hope you are cooling off. Go get your free Slurpee. Go ahead and do that. Listen, if you want to chime in on today's topics, by all means, feel free to do that by calling 1-800-920-1580. You can also go over to our YouTube chat right now, KBLA 1580. Join into the community chat. You know how we do. If you're not following us on all of our social media platforms, do it right now, because it's just a good idea. You should do it. We're at KBLA 1580 on all of our socials. And follow me at Robin Ayers, because I talk back. I'm very friendly that way. And so I'll welcome you into my community as well. Shout out to Naomi Osaka and Corday, who've welcomed their baby girl. I don't know if you really have been following this story. For those who like tennis, and I like tennis, I like Naomi Osaka. And she and rapper Corday, they're welcoming their baby. So that is very, very cute. Along with, days after Debrat and Jessica Dupart, they've welcomed their baby boy. So babies. These babies are going to be Cancer horoscope. I think, we're in Cancer. So shout out to them. Okay, let me give you the update. Let me give you what it's going to be. Hello, I see you all in YouTube coming in. We're going to get straight to our topics today, because I have a great interview coming up in just a little bit on the flip side with a couple of the cast members of Kings of L.A. Now, if you were listening last night, I know that my contributor today, who you all also know as Jill Munroe from the RSVP with Jill Munroe, she had some of the guys on last night, as well as the director, Van Elder. I just had a beautiful pre-interview with them, but I'm going to get some good stuff when we have the other two with us, Duane Finley and Buddy Lewis. I'm excited to have them in. But let's go ahead and get to these topics, Andy.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Okay, well, let's break it down. Carrie Hilson, I think this is the one right here. Carrie, you know what's interesting is when you take something to social media, everybody automatically assumes that it's about you, and that may not be the case. She did go out and put out this whole post, and basically she's saying eventually you'll end up men. She's targeting men right now. Basically, if you're on social media, eventually you'll be lining your pockets with options. She's talking about ladies. So does that mean, that's my question of the day, does that mean that if you are a man and you are on social media and you're possibly in a relationship, does that mean eventually you will cheat? I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll tell you exactly what she said and break that whole thing down. Tamika Foster, who's the ex-wife of Usher Raymond, she is now petitioning to drain Lake Lanier. This is 11 years following the death of her son. We'll talk about that and why she actually she's petitioning to drain the lake. And 11 years later, we got to see, is this something feasible, if this is something that she should do? And yesterday, we did not get to our burglarizations. They out here, they getting them, y'all. They out here getting them. How can you protect yourself? How do you navigate protecting your home, your property, your assets, your values, all those things? We'll talk about that and more on the other side. You are listening to The Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Lil Real Howery. Right now, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. That's right, The Raw Report.
You're inside The Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
On your period, sudden gushes happen without warning. But now, you can say goodbye to stand-up gush fears. Thanks to Always Ultra Thins with rapid dry technology. It absorbs gushes 2 times faster than the leading store brand and gives you up to 100% leak-free protection. Hello, clean and comfortable with Always Fear No Gush.
When you can find everything you need at prices you can afford, that's totally Target. It's that feeling when quality Good and Gather ingredients on the barbecue bring family around the table. Or when favorite day after practice snacks let you celebrate the whole team for less. It's when saving more on Up and Up sunscreen means more fun in the sun. And when Target Circle Rewards program gives you more perks on what you buy most and is always free to join, that's totally Target.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
And as you know, I'm never here to break down these topics by myself. I have a contributor of the day who you all know from my show, but has moved on to her own show, Jill Munroe. Hello to you, Jill. How are you today?
Happy Tuesday, Robin. How are you?
You know, I'm fantastic. I'm a little bit hot. I've been a bit productive, though. I've been a lot productive today. So, but I am doing well. And the night is not over. After the show, the night continues. So I'm looking forward to having a good time. I hope you're doing well too, Jill. Everything going well for you?
Everything is amazing except for the heat. I mean, we've been waiting a long time in L.A. for summer, and it's here, but they could have turned it down a little bit. I like a nice 82.
I'm saying
78.
82 sounds very, very nice. Yeah, I was just breaking down how the valley is just excruciatingly hot sometimes, and then coming from the valley, coming over to here in Leimert Park in L.A., you get at least 20 degrees less or cooler, and then sometimes 30 degrees, and I'm like, I'll take it all day. So anyway, yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in here. This is an interesting topic. Carrie Hilson, who we know as a beautiful, beautiful, talented woman. She's a singer, she's an actress, and she was killing the game for several years in the 2000s, but she has been maybe more focused on her acting career and just, kind of behind the scenes doing some things. So it's rare that we really see her pop out in the headlines in social media news. But here she is making a point on social media. And let me preface this. We are not necessarily talking about Carrie Hilson. Like I was saying before, sometimes people assume that when you post something that you are posting about your own life. It could be just something that you agree with. Okay, so let's just preface it with that. But Carrie Hilson wrote on socials. She said, "A man will brag about not being in the streets, but be on social media, habitually tossing out and returning subliminal bait with women he finds attractive, making new friends, lining his pockets with options, collecting void fillers, creating methods of having his ego stroked, giving everyone attention and conversation, and moving the finalists offline and into his phone, eventually meeting up." She continued on to say, "Just because we can't see you doesn't mean it's not happening. You just take the back roads. The destination is still the same. Let's call a spade a spade." Now, she had a lot of things to say, and I feel like this conversation is interesting just because we're often talking about, obviously, how social media plays a role in so many different things that we do, obviously, but multiple people's relationships, it will affect it oftentimes. So with this whole post that she mentioned, Jill, let me ask you, what are your thoughts on what she says? Is there some truth behind what she's saying from your experience or what you know?
I mean, of course there's some truth. Social media has made it very easy. I used to call it dial and deliver. It's like a menu. You can look up and see, oh, I think I want mid-thick girl, sort of ratchet but classy. Whatever you want, you can find that combination on social media, and guys will just slide in the DMs. I think it's probably a better dating app than some of the dating apps. People definitely utilize it for that, and they definitely can, slow drag that in there, because you could have little bits of conversation leak out for years, and then one day it's like, you know what, you're cool, let's meet up. We see it happen all the time. So I think she's right.
Yeah, let me ask you, I don't know, I'm not in these dating streets, but I hear a lot about it. I hear a lot how, from single girlfriends of mine, how it's just a different day and age, and instantly, this is how we meet. You'll meet somebody, and we no longer ask for phone numbers. We ask for your Instagram handle. What's your IG? What's your, and it's so funny that has become so prevalent in today's society that it does play a major factor. Do you feel like people don't have a chance, people that they may not have a chance if they want to date seriously with social media in being involved?
I mean, I think that it just depends on where you are. There's a lot of people, obviously, that are out there playing, just looking to have fun or, sample. And then there's some people that may be serious, but that's why it's important to get to know someone because they're little tell signs that will peek out. Everyone can bring forward their representative and say, yeah, I'm really serious right now. I'm looking for this. But it might just be an act to get to where they want. But I think the reason why people feel comfortable asking for social media is because there's somewhat of a barrier there, but not. Like you can say, oh, I wasn't on Instagram, but you can go and really quickly make an assessment of the type of activities someone likes, their hobbies. Of course, some of that could be fake and catfish, but you could kind of get an idea of someone a little more quickly than the traditional method.
I agree with you. I think social media is, Andy made a great point. It is the social media. It's your business card these days. People go on there. They look to find, like you mentioned, find out what your hobbies are, see what kind of work you do, see what your family looks like. You got to protect yourself from all things until you really get to know somebody. But also, it just plays into so much drama. Look at the whole Kiki Darius Dalton thing. That happened as a result of social media, So I think it just causes so much conflict just in general, especially with relationships. But I'm going to leave that right there. I want to get your input on this, Jill. Damson Idris, who we're lucky to say that he's in L.A., right? Damson Idris. He's in L.A. Miss Tina Knowles Lawson, also in L.A. Both homes have been burglarized. They're not the only ones, and this is only recently have we heard about it. This whole burglarization thing, I don't know what to make of it. Number one, why can you get anybody's address online? I thought that celebrities would have done a better job at sort of protecting themselves, their business, their names, all of those things. Why, number one, do you know this? Because I don't know this information. Why is it that we're able to know where Chris Brown lives, where, all these different people? Do you know that?
I think it's a combination of things. I think it's one, real estate agents and, companies want to market themselves. So when they make a huge sale for a celebrity, that is good advertisement for them. So a lot of times we see, or this person was selling their house. There's only so many mansions. There's only so many, even though LA is flooded with them still, we tend to see repeat famous people staying and repeat famous people, purchasing or staying in these same homes. So I think that is one thing. Also, public records are what it is. California has one of the highest privacy, laws as far as those things like that. But if you purchase a home, if you own a home, people can look that up. That's just the brass tacks unless they did it under a company or an LLC, and there's lots of reasons why someone may or may not want to do that. I think it's just that technology is evolving a lot faster than some of the laws and things that we've had in place, and just social media in general. People know. I may not know where you live, but if a famous person has lived in your neighborhood or your block, there are sort of landmarks or telltale signs that the average person may not know. But if I'm a flocker, which is a robber, LA lingo, I'm looking for these things. I'm combing social media. Think about the bling ring. They weren't hardened criminals. They weren't expertise. They just watched social media to see when people were going to be out of town. Everyone knows Tina has been traveling with Beyonce on the Renaissance tour. So there you go.
Perfect opportunity. That's another thing. It's sort of the opposite of, when they say don't post your address online, especially when you are just anyway, regardless, but especially when you're there, because you never know who could come in and try to rob your home. We've seen so many different things happen. Andy wants to jump in on this. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, I think regular people, the average Joe, have to be concerned about that too.
Absolutely.
Simply because,
absolutely.
Look, everybody's joining threads, right? And I know you talked about, some of the stuff that the app searches for.
Yeah.
Google your name.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be shocked about the stuff that you see that pops up online.
I would recommend everybody do that, as a matter of fact, to Google your name, see what is out there, see who they have you associated with. There'll be friends. It is really interesting what Google can do. And the algorithms, how they're able to place people together. It's just really a strange world that we live in. But how do we, I know Avon Walker here, he's talking about cameras and alarm systems. People don't care about that. People, and especially if they've mapped it out accordingly. So Jill, like you were saying, if we know that Tina Knowles is in another country for several, weeks at a time with Beyonce, we know that her home, for the most part, we know at least she won't be there. We don't know if there's, other staff members or anything like that, but it doesn't seem that people care. But the question that I have is, should we all, not just celebrities, but should we all be cautious and careful about what we even keep in our homes? Because according to reports, both Tina Knowles Lawson and Damson Idris both had safes there. And you would think your safe is safe, right? You would think that's the whole purpose of it. But even to have that in your home, and she was taken for almost $1 million in jewelry and cash. And him, Damson Idris, fortunately was he had only been, they had gotten away with, I think, a few $100s worth. Shannon Sharp?
I think Shannon, it's a hard call. We saw this a few years ago where a bunch of athletes' homes were being robbed because they knew that they were going to be at the games. I mean, part of it is, this is L.A. culture, we know. It's something that frequently happens. The other half of it is convenience. I think that it's just, one, we have to be more cautious. Social media has been around for about 15 years now. And I think sometimes we're all excited in the moment, but I think that there is some benefit sometimes to posting a day later or posting all your vacation stuff after you return, because really, I mean, you could keep everything in a safe deposit box, but what if you just want to grab that necklace that happens to be $150,000, or you have a watch, that you want to pull out if you're a guy to wear? It's a hassle. And I mean, I don't, other than enhancing your security system, maybe getting a dog, it's a risk everyone takes, as Andy pointed out. We all do.
Yeah, it's tough. Forensic accountant says, where was Brother Lawson? I don't know where Mr. Richard Lawson was at the time.
There's a rumor.
There are rumors.
There's a rumor.
There are rumors and reports. But I will say this, though. It's funny also that if you don't post your mate, your spouse, for a significant amount of time. They're doing it with Taye Diggs and April Jones at the moment. If you wait weeks to post your mate, automatically people are assuming that they're not together. So I don't know. I'm gonna leave it right there. I don't know if Jill, you want to expound on that or not, but I don't know where Brother Lawson was.
We don't know. We're just, covering them for all things in prayer and hope that everything is cool and everybody's just working.
Yes.
We don't know for sure, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of working, Tamika Foster, the ex-wife of Usher, is working to get the lake in which her son passed away 11 years ago. His name was Kyle Glover. She's working to get this lake drained. And July 6th, she wrote a whole Instagram post, obviously giving honor to her son. She says that he was so brave. He held on for 2 weeks. He had an accident in that lake. And it was so tragic at that time. I remember reading about it, and it was just so heartfelt. And we now know, though, that I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Lake Lanier. I'm pretty sure that's how it's spelled. Okay, yeah. So there have been a significant amount of deaths in that particular lake, 700 deaths since 1956. So I think she's on to something here. I know we're talking about 11 years later. It doesn't matter. There's no statute that says you have to try to do something like this within a certain amount of time. 11 years is fine. Maybe she's over her grieving. Maybe she's, we don't know. But 700 deaths. Don't you think that they probably would have done something like this at that time? I mean, just like since 1956, Jill?
Lake Lanier, it seems like it's haunted. To me, it is a man-made lake. I believe I think there were some rumors about what them flooding the town that was there, or how it came to be. I think there's just bad juju all around it, and I definitely wouldn't be opposed to them taking care of it. Just so many tragedies have happened on there. And obviously you can't blame an inanimate object, but something is definitely not right with the spirits around that area.
Yeah, and you would think that because I've heard about that as well. And this is not to place a blame, especially on victims, but, you know, one would think that if there have been enough stories, enough, you know, we've heard all the juju, the bad juju, right? We've heard about it all. You would think that people would stay away from it. But according to the Georgia Department of Natural Resources Law Division, it says that within the first half of 2022, there had been 14 boat-related fatalities, 67 injuries, and 114 incidents reported. I mean, that to me, we're talking about within 6 months. Within 6 months. I mean, and I've not heard of a lake specifically that have had that much negativity or fatalities attached to it. So, and I'm not sure if you have, but I think it's a good idea just for the safety of anyone who's going there in the future.
I mean, I agree with you wholeheartedly. You know, there's the thing that there was a town that was there before the lake, and it was flooded, and it was home where 1,100 Black people thrived and lived. So, you know, the implications are that it might be kind of haunted, but there's obviously a safety issue that's happening. I don't know if that's abnormal for lake numbers, you know, as far as water safety, but it seems excessive to me. And I'm with you. I think that it just, you know, they can do something else with that area, but get rid of that body of water.
Get rid of the body of water. I agree with you on that. Jill, in 20 seconds, 30 seconds, give us a quick synopsis. How is your show going? How are things going for your RSVP with Jill Munroe?
I'm so excited to be a part of the KBLA family. So it's going amazing. You know, I'm getting my bearings, getting used to everything. I hope that people will come and check me out. And I'm enjoying it. So I'm still growing, still learning. Feedback. I love feedback. So you guys can tweet me, Instagram me, whatever.
Definitely.
And that's it. Amazing.
Well, you already know we definitely love you here at KBLA. Also on the Raw Report, we love to have you. Thank you so much. And make sure that you guys are checking her out tonight, 9 p.m. to midnight. That is RSVP with Jill Munroe. Jill, thank you so much for coming on to the Raw Report. I appreciate you.
Bye, Robin. Thanks.
When we come forward, we've got a great interview happening, and it's happening right here in studio. Duane Finley, we've got Buddy Lewis, also from the cast of Kings of L.A. You don't want to miss it. Right now, we got news, traffic, and sports. You're listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on The Raw Report.
More of The Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Jamie Foxx is getting out and about. TMZ posted video showing the Oscar-winning actor on a boat cruising the Chicago River on Sunday. Foxx is seen with family members waving and smiling at other boats. This is his first public sighting since an unspecified health scare landed him in the hospital in April. 6 cities in California are among the top 10 most expensive rental markets in the nation. That's according to Zillow's rent report for last month. The most expensive rental market in the nation is San Jose, where renters are paying an average of more than $3,400 per month. It's July 11th, aka Free 7-Eleven Slurpee Day. To celebrate the convenience store chain's 96th birthday, anyone who stops by can get a free small Slurpee. The offer also extends to Speedway and Stripe stores. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Downtown L.A. on the 101 northbound at Cesar Chavez Avenue got a brush fire reported over on the right shoulder. Lincoln Heights, 5 northbound after Main Street, got a disabled vehicle and the right lane is going to be blocked. South L.A., 110 southbound of Vernon Avenue, disabled vehicle has the center lane blocked. And still a signaler in Elysian Park, 5 southbound to the 110 South Connector. That is still all shut down from an earlier car fire that sparked a brush fire. It's slow from Griffith Park Drive.
The Dell Technologies Black Friday and July event starts now with savings on select PCs powered by the latest Intel Core processors. Plus, get deals on select accessories and free shipping on everything. Save now by calling 877-ASK-DELL.
Is this the
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It might be time for the Clippers to move on from Damian Lillard. Sources close to the Portland Trailblazer star said he wants no part of the Clippers or the Boston Celtics. The Clippers, Celtics, and Philadelphia 76ers have been out front in their interest to acquire Lillard since he demanded a trade on July 1st. The seven-time All-Star is holding firm in his request to be traded to the Miami Heat. Lakers GM Rob Pelinka also has a big decision to make regarding Anthony Davis. On August 4th, Davis is eligible for a 3-year extension worth $167 million. That deal would push Davis' salary to $55.6 million. Davis is due to make $40.6 million next season if Pelinka decides to hold off on that extension. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Black Lives Matters turns 10, and KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to be the exclusive media partner of the People's Justice Festival. This Saturday, July 15th, 12 to 6 p.m. in Leimert Park. Come join us as we celebrate the life-saving and history-making work of Black Lives Matter to help bend the arc of the moral universe toward justice. There will be live music performances, a children's village, giveaways, vendors, a healing justice space, Skillshare, and amazing speakers including Green Party presidential candidate Dr. Cornel West live on stage at 4:30 p.m. For more information, go to blmgrassroots.org. That's www.blmgrassroots.org. Dominique Dupree and Tavis Smiley will be main stage hosts throughout the day, and the KBLA Talk 1580 delegation will be out in full force. So, join us this Saturday, July 15th, 12 to 6 p.m. in Leimert Park as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of Black Lives Matter. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. Can pull the hood out me, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head, rooted, rooted.
The Los Angeles Urban League helps African American and others in underserved communities achieve true social parity, economic self-reliance, and civil rights. For over 100 years, Los Angeles Urban League has ensured our communities have access to careers with living wages, opportunities to start and grow businesses, and clear pathways to personal and professional growth. Programs like BizCamp, Construction Career Academy, Bob Business Ready, and B-Warp. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program are examples of the ongoing events designed to make our centennial mission to rebuild Black Wall Street right here in LA a reality. To sign up for our newsletter or to support the Los Angeles Urban League with your time, talents, and donations, visit laul.org. That's laul.org. The Los Angeles Urban League is a proud sponsor of Urban Family Focus, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Keeping you informed about what's really going on.
Who's got next?
And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Whoa. Yeah. Hey, yo, Tim, man, Mr. Jump Off right here, man. Whoa. It's the Jump Off. I've been gone for a minute, now I'm back with the Jump Off.
Oh, yeah. You are back inside the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Happy birthday, Lil Kim. Happy birthday, Lil Kim Denise. That's her middle name. That's my middle name. You know, we got that in common. So I'm going to always have love for Lil Kim. Hey. It's a turn up. We could turn up for the rest of the show, but we're not going to do that because I have these two amazing guys with me here in the studio to talk about some great things. Two greats who I've been watching for quite some time. I know you all have been watching for some time as well. We've got Duane Finley in the building.
Yes, ma'am. What's up?
Yeah, we got Buddy Lewis in the building.
Don't nobody know me.
We absolutely do. Obviously, we're here to talk about the new movie that you guys have just released, and it's getting such great feedback. It's called Kings of L.A.
Running right there in North Hollywood, Studio City area. Please go check it out at the Lemuel Theater on Lancashire. Go check it out, man.
That's right. And if you can't spell Lemuel and get that north, you need to go on to Amazon.com. You got an Amazon Prime account. You've been ordering all that bull stuff. They told me I can't cuss. So
that's
go on
nice.
And
that
get
was good, Duane. I feel you on that.
I listen sometimes.
Wasn't that impressive?
But either way, go to Amazon Prime. Look up Amazon. What's called again, Buddy Lewis?
The Kings of L.A.
There it is.
And the Lemuel Theater.
See, they've been watching you a little bit longer than they've been watching.
With that name is very sophisticated. I couldn't pronounce it.
Lemuel.
But now that you've said it so eloquently.
But you know, most of the time it was from all the people that I knew in my neighborhood. There was Larvale, Lemuel, and Jim Nanell.
We have them to thank.
Jezanel.
South of Wilshire, it's Limley. That's what we
say.
It rhymes with Finley.
There you go. So you'll never forget. I like that. You guys, we just had a great conversation before this show. It was nice talking to you all. It was nice talking with Van Elder,
the director
Van
Elder
of the film,
writer, producer.
Yeah. Okay, so let's rehash it a little bit. I do want to get into you both individually because, like I said, I'm fans. There are other fans who have been watching you guys for quite some time. But this film in particular that we are asking everybody to go check out, based in L.A., right? It's got a lot of, it's Kings of L.A., so it's got that whole storyline and the authenticity of L.A. Give me a sentence or a couple of sentences of, your experience in filming it.
Well, Buddy Lewis, you want to start?
No, go ahead. Take it, man, because you're a main factor. You're the factor.
I'm around here. I'm E40. I'm like a pillar around here. Yeah. Let me just tell you.
Oh.
So check it. L.A. Kings, the Kings of L.A., Van Elder, writer, director, producer, just from L.A., kept some authenticity about what it is about this community that makes L.A. so special. I mean, we've got stars that come from here, and then we've got stars that move here and become who they are. And no one really talks about what that struggle is, especially being a black male living here and born and raised. So we follow comedian Stevie J, who's the star of the show. And when he gets out of prison, we just follow him through what he goes through in real life, in real time, of how it is when you come out of prison. And he goes to jail on some BS. It's not even like he's out here, he's the hardcore gang member guy. He just gets caught up on what you know what? They got to see the movie. I'm not gonna tell the story of that.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think that as a transplant, I'm originally from Gary, Indiana.
Gary.
Gary is a microcosm of. If we could put Gary in L.A., it would be like Compton East.
It'd be right near Martin Luther King Boulevard.
South. It would be It would be. Gary has a similar vibe, and I think. As a transplant, I saw that early. This story about the Kings of L.A. I saw it when I first got here, so I got to experience that that transition of how L.A. is. It's different, man. There's a different vibe here, and so it was interesting. Being a part of something that was an LA vibe that I sort of saw. I really wasn't a participant per se, but I saw it, and I saw it when I first got here. And I lived all over LA.
No word.
Yeah. I lived on 8th and Berendo during the riots.
Oh yeah, see, you've been around.
I lived in the Valley. When I lived everywhere.
Well, I guess I got to keep it real. I'm not from LA. I'm from Inglewood. And if you from
okay,
Inglewood,
so wait, hold on,
say.
Duane. I know everybody probably hit you with this, but people are serious about that. They say Inglewood is not L.A.
Well, that's right. Inglewood is not LA.
But a lot of people who don't know, Andy and I think we've had this conversation. People,
right.
they shout out to Andy. A lot of people would say it's L.A. It is the greater Los Angeles area. What's the distinction between Inglewood and L.A. experience?
The distinction is I'm gonna tell y'all from Inglewood. You
Crenshaw
did,
for real.
And Crenshaw turned in Inglewood too. So be careful. You did. Like when you fly into Los Angeles, they call it LAX, but just know you in Inglewood. So pay respects, pay homage.
Oh,
beware the names. Beware the names.
Okay.
But and I'm gonna tell you, it's funny, but nobody ever like makes that distinction with other parts of LA that are LA. You know what I mean? When I mean, people try to include Inglewood into LA, but they don't do that for like Pasadena.
That's right.
Or no place else but Inglewood. They'll just that's LA. No.
That's still LA
Pasadena.
County. That's LA County.
Ain't
it's
LA.
County, but the interesting thing is it comes from the people of that city. It's only because people who are from Inglewood say don't call us LA.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think people are rising up from Pasadena talking about don't call us
you
LA.
Don't. But this one right here, this Kings of L.A. film actually talks about our brothers from both sides of the tracks. Whether you be from the brown side, the white side, the black side, it has these conversations that and should be these conversations that we have in public, so that they're not so private and they're not so harmful when it becomes a public conversation.
I'm interested. I have not been able to see the film as of yet. I do because I told y'all I'm running around. My mom is in town. Shout out to my mom, Deborah. She's
y'all
in town.
Need to get Amazon.
Yeah,
I got Amazon.
Get it
yeah.
on.
I got it. I already got it. It's already a done deal.
Tell your husband to hit his
It's already a deal.
mama.
It's Prime Day too. It's Prime Day. So yeah, definitely go ahead and hit that up. So I've not been able to watch it as of yet, but I know it's an LA story. But is this something that other people from a small community in a hood like LA will relate to?
I definitely think the movie is relatable. A good story is a good story. We can take any genre of film and you go, is it relatable? There's something in there for you. So it doesn't matter whether it was Boys in the Hood or Malcolm X. The story was the story.
It's the story,
and so I think that's the key thing about this movie is although it's incorporating LA as its thing, you can relate to it because it's the story.
Sure.
Van wrote a good story.
What's it like for you, Duane? Obviously, a lot of people know you from your work on The Wood, right? I mean, another classic film. It's just something that we loved. We related to, so many of us. And you are representing LA again here in this film, in a different way. I know two totally different characters, but what's that feel like to you? Does that have a deeper meaning? Like, I'm from LA, I get to represent again.
Well, yeah, being a native California, Inglewood, representing, Los Angeles, we are a rare breed, especially at this tenure. And being here for this long and doing what I do and even being in business, outside of being in the film industry. So I do take a lot of responsibility for the roles that I take. And for me, I have to live it. People walk up on me and say, yo, Slim, all day long. But I also realize that it's relatable to them, that they can walk in their own community 5 minutes away from their home and talk to someone in the community who works in an industry that they may or may not want to be in. But, like I said, man, for me, I am who I am. I show up the way I show up. Been there, lived that, bought the T-shirt. You did.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The rest of it.
Shout out to the T-shirt though.
Oh yeah.
We'll pay $15 on.
Yeah. I'm not a whore brand. A brand of whores, or what do you call it? Brand whore? What do you call it?
Yes,
something about whores. I forget what it is. But I can say whores, right? On radio. We can say whores.
He good?
Hey man, I don't have no brand. I don't have no brand shirts.
Buddy Lewis.
But I love it.
Buddy Lewis is your brand.
Can I just say something about working with the legend?
Please do.
I had no idea.
Because I wasn't. I'm on you right now, but I'm gonna turn to you in a second, buddy. Yeah,
listen, if you don't know Buddy Lewis, he can tell you better about himself than I can. I've heard horrible things about him in the streets, but he is a wonderful, wonderful brother. Like literally, I met Buddy years ago. Didn't know he was in this film. You guys know how that Hollywood thing goes. So you'll do a movie, you don't know who's in it.
Right.
But when I heard Buddy Lewis was there, And knowing that I'm in a project with him, I know that my career isn't as bad as it should be because Buddy Lewis is in the movie.
That's
so
hilarious.
it's one of those things.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what, man? And I met Duane many years ago, and he was doing stand-up, and so it's always good to work with professionals and get back around, because this business is so cyclic. You can think you're avoiding somebody, and next thing you know, here they come. Ta-da! Y'all in the same movie.
Found your ass.
Yeah. Found you. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Come on in here and do this.
Got him. Absolutely. But you let's just talk about that for a second. We touched on this a little bit earlier, but obviously you are legendary in these here streets. Yeah, definitely we know you from being on so many different projects, but you bring a comedic relief, but that's not necessarily the angle for this film, Kings of L.A. You played you were a serious actor.
Yeah, I did some serious
You're
acting.
a serious actor.
I was acting.
You're a thespian. You're a thespian. Put some respect
I want you
on
to
my
understand,
name.
I respect all your pronouns, okay?
Thank you, bro. I
Thespian,
appreciate it.
transplant.
There it is, all of that.
I respect all your stuff.
Thank you.
Duane, that was nice. That was funny. That was good. That was real good.
Respect my pronouns.
Oh
Respect
yeah.
it. Yes,
So
sir.
so what was that like for you coming into this? I mean, this film now. You know what I mean? Showcasing that side of you. But like you were mentioning, you're a comedic kind of guy. Like just talking to you naturally, you're a funny guy. You're welcoming. So I'm sure that comes out as well.
I think you always want opportunities to do to stretch.
Yeah.
To show people that you're not just this one thing. And Hollywood has a way of boxing you into a genre or a thing, and so you want to break out, and you just want people to know, hey man, I can do different things. And I think as a comedian and as an actor, you definitely want to let people know that you can do both sides. And I think some of the best actors have some comic timing. Samuel Jackson, we were talking about De Niro, Pesci, those kind of guys. They can do it all, and so you want to be able to be one of those people that can do it all.
Well, when we come forward, I definitely want to talk more about where you guys are going to go from here. Duane, I know you are in business. Y'all see what I'm saying?
Traffic's bad. Immediately trying to get home.
Listen, I was trying to hook you up. I was like, stay here with me a little bit longer, buddy. I ain't trying to get you back on that freeway right now. But we'll talk about more of what you guys do, where you're going to go in terms of Hollywood, but also real life business for you. We'll talk about that. And I also want to know what you have, what your feelings are around working with Van Elder. We'll talk about that when we come forward. You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on The Raw Report.
You're inside The Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
The family of Keenan Anderson is suing the city of Los Angeles for $100 million. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Keenan Anderson, a high school English teacher that was visiting Los Angeles from Washington, D.C., was tragically killed at the hands of the Los Angeles Police Department in January of this year. His family, alongside civil rights and personal injury attorney Benjamin Crump and Carl Douglas, have announced a $100 million lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles. Crump and Douglas are representing Keenan Anderson's son, Sincere Anderson, and his mother, Gabrielle Hansel. The family is suing for civil rights violations, assault and battery, false imprisonment, and negligence on the part of the LAPD officers. The family of Keenan Anderson and attorneys Crump and Douglas want it to be known that this is only part of a systemic issue within the fabric of police departments everywhere.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts. Hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, in downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
You're listening to K-Drip, where we play all the best classic water-wasting hits like watering your lawn during the hottest time of the day and leaky faucets. They're tunes from another time because now that we face a hotter, drier future, every drop counts. Despite an extremely wet winter, keep using less water, fixing leaks, and reusing indoor water for your garden. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more ways to conserve. Up next, brushing your teeth with the water on. K-Drip.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, man. I truly love talking to these guys. I'm having a great time. You are inside the Rob Report, and we are talking with Duane Finley. We are talking with Buddy Lewis. These are two guys who are just great on their own, but we're talking about this new film that they have, Kings of L.A. Briefly, just tell me what your experience was working with Van Elder. I mean, we have him here. We were able to talk with him. Very chill guy, very serious about his work, though. What was that experience like working with him?
I don't know if we had permission to talk about Elder. Is it okay to talk about it? It's not like Fight Club?
Yeah, it's not like
So now that we're not on set anymore, we're okay to talk about
Right, you're okay. You're safe.
The Van Elder. And the Van was
The Van Man.
Yeah, the Van got a cold backhand when it come to being on set. You know? And I'm dark complected, so you can only see one. You see this eye? Never mind. I don't know if I can say that part. No, it was good working with Van. He's it's been said before, not just by me, so I'm just going to quote some other folks as well, but he is the actor's director. He allows you to come to set, embody your character, give notes on what you feel and what the moments feel real about. And this film in particular just spoke volumes to me. Even Buddy Lewis's character, I play Piper, and I'm Duane Finley. And I play Piper. And Buddy Lewis plays a businessman who I almost play in real life. Maybe not as
I can't even remember my character's name.
He comes off. It's Buddy Lewis as a businessman. And when you see the film, you'll understand that all of us knew these characters somewhere. You knew my character Piper as the enforcer, the dude that was not having it on the block and would do anything by any means to protect it. You knew Buddy's character, who was the business owner on the block, and he's always had business, and he'll give a young brother a chance until he messes up. So this film is very indicative of what's happened in our community and what's still happening, just on the basis of not brothers committing huge felonies but getting caught up in being unresolved drivers and then ending up doing time or losing opportunities because of that. So we have to be much more careful as it comes to being young brothers and raising these young brothers and talking to them and connecting the old and the young. And this film talks about that.
That's a great transition and a great segue to talk about what we were speaking about on the break. We were mentioning the newcomers, these up and coming guys, especially in your industry, in the comedy world. You know, there's a lot of people out there who Duane and Andy, I love it. It's a reunion here.
That's my boy.
Buddy. So but I like the fact that you put a lot of respect on these young cats' names.
The game has changed a little bit. When I came up, you had to go and get the Robin Harris's respect and the J. Anthony Browns, and you had to go there and get their respect so you could get stage time and and the Steve Wallace. But now, these young kids, man, they're on a mission, man, and they're using the technology and the social media and those things to promote their brand.
Yeah.
And so I'm not mad at them. As a matter of fact, I want some of them to help me. That's why I work with some of these young kids.
Shout out Watts Homie Quan, John Jones,
Jahan, all those guys, man. I'm trying to learn from them on how I can expand my numbers, and hopefully I can, and in the process give them a little piece of what I've learned.
Yeah.
But no disrespect. I just think, the game is the game, and you got to be able to play the game and play chess, not checkers. You know what I mean? So I could always use some help learning how to do what they do to get to promote their brand. The only thing for me back in the day was stage time. That's how you got your brand going. Now it's internet, it's social media, it's these websites, it's these programs. So I can learn from them, and so that's what I'm trying to do. I just want them to, hey man, get on in there, but learn the game. Comedy's an art.
Yes,
comedy is an art, but a lot of people who are seasoned in that game, they don't respect these new guys because they're like, oh, it's easy to do that on social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's harder to get up on stage and really carry
some of them are jealous,
a show.
Because some of these guys are jealous.
But let's keep it real. It's harder to do anything on stage, even acting.
Right.
Even acting's hard to do on stage. It's harder to do on stage than it is on film, and that is the test of an actor. So I think these social media guys are testing themselves and jumping on stage behind guys like Buddy Lewis.
Yeah, and when they get their butts handed to them,
that's right. You learn that lesson. You lift your wound, you tuck your tail, and go catch a check in Mississippi.
But yeah. So I mean, but they're filling up rooms. They're filling up rooms, and their popularity is getting them checks that a lot of us, as a veteran, I can't book myself in some of these places in Utah and Iowa, but they're world known because of what they're doing. So I'm not mad at them. I'm like, okay, show me how to do it so I can do it.
Absolutely.
that's my game.
Join forces.
Or join forces. Exactly.
Yeah, collaborate.
And that's why I'm trying to get all you little YouTubing, X gaming, whatever it is you do, social media.
That's right. Holla at Buddy Lewis.
Holla at
Duane Finley. Matter of fact, I'm about to manage Buddy Lewis.
Very good. And that's a great way for me to ask you, where can everybody find you online?
I'm the real Buddy Lewis Jokes on Instagram and Facebook, and also I'm about to get me some threads. See, I'm doing it. I'm about to get on threads.
Good, buddy. That's nice.
I'm gonna get on threads.
Come on over here to threads.
I'm the real Buddy Lewis on TikTok. You can. I'm doing it.
You here?
It should be hashtag old ass man jokes.
Duane, where can everybody find you online?
You can still find me in these streets, actually. I'm Duane Finley. My name is Mr. Duane Finley on social media, or you can catch me at the Mailbox Place off of La Brea. I'm always there.
Yeah.
Also, I'm available. I've got Finn's Live Scan and Notary Public. I also work with kids organizations. So if you hit me in your DMs, I do it all. I still walk around and go speak to kids. Got to go talk to some kids this Friday at the Notre Dame High School. If any of you guys are familiar with Notre Dame High School, it's a private school. If any of you are going there, they have an enrichment program where we are teaching kids entrepreneurship, business, and financial literacy. And I am spreading that throughout Los Angeles, throughout California. I'm of service. I'm a man of service. Hit me if you need me. Here for it.
I love it, and I truly appreciate you guys. You're both amazing at what you do. Please, you guys, go ahead and support this film, Kings of L.A. You know where to find them online. We got all that good stuff. Listen, my name is Robin Ayers. I'm your host. Remember, today and every day forward to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Chicago suburb of Evanston is paying reparations to black residents, which could be a test run for the rest of the country. Evanston has already paid 16 citizens from a $10 million package. Head of Thurgood Marshall Civil Rights Center at Howard University, Justin Hansford, says he sees it as an experiment for the rest of the U.S. A new poll gives President Biden a razor-thin lead